Somewhere right now, a man is staring at his phone, rereading the same text message for the third time, trying to talk himself out of what his gut already knows. By the end of this video, I'm going to hand you the one signal. A single thing she cannot fake, no matter how good she is at covering her tracks. Write it down when it comes. But that signal won't mean anything to you yet, because first you need the 4 lies that come before it. So don't skip ahead. Watch them in order. The order is the whole point. For years, I've sat across from men, engineers, business owners, contractors, men who had their whole lives in order. And almost every one of them said the exact same sentence after the damage was already done. I had a feeling. I just talked myself out of it. This channel exists, so you never have to say that sentence. If that's you right now, hit subscribe before you watch the rest of this, because what's coming only works if you can spot it while it's happening. Not 6 months later, when you're piecing it together in your head at 2 a.m. Here's what almost nobody tells you. These 4 lies don't happen randomly. They land in a sequence, like stages of a disease. Each one quietly sets up the one after it. By the time you reach the 4th lie, you're so deep inside her version of events that you'll defend her to your own friends. Watch the order, not just the words. I'll show you why that order matters at the very end. Lie number 1. I've just not been in the mood lately. It works because it sounds reasonable. Everybody gets tired, work piles up, life gets heavy. So your instinct says, be patient, give her space, don't pressure her. You think you're being a good partner. Here's what almost no one will tell you. A woman who genuinely loves you doesn't go cold under stress. She leans in harder. Tired after a brutal week, still wants your arm around her. Maybe not passion, but closeness. Real love seeks contact, even half asleep. So when affection disappears completely, not for a night, for a month, when your hand on her back makes her flinch, that's not exhaustion, that's redirection. Her body didn't stop wanting closeness. It stopped wanting it from you. Daniel, 39, runs a small construction company. His fiancée had pulled away for almost 2 months, every time he reached for her. I'm just drained. Work's been brutal. He believed it because it made sense. Then he noticed she'd started 6 a.m. gym sessions she hadn't done in 3 years. New clothes, new energy on her Instagram stories, and still, in private, she wouldn't even hold his hand on the couch. Her mouth said tired. Her actions said alive again, just not for you. Hold on to that contrast, because it's the exact thing that makes lie number 2 so easy for her to tell. Lie number 2. I just want to focus on myself right now. On the surface, this sounds evolved. You feel almost proud hearing it. She's growing, doing the work, this is healthy. And sometimes, to be fair, it genuinely is. Real growth in a relationship is collaborative. She shares what she's learning. She asks about your boundaries when she talks about hers. But when focusing on herself means total isolation, when every attempt you make to be part of it gets treated like interference, that's not self-care. That's self-separation. She's quietly building a version of herself that no longer includes you, so that when she eventually steps outside the relationship, she can tell herself, I just outgrew him. And if you push back even gently, she'll flip it. You're controlling, you're insecure, you don't respect her independence. Quick gut check before we move on. Drop a comment with the number 1, 2, 3, or 4 for which of these lies hit closest to home for you. I read everyone. This is exactly where lie number 3 takes over, because once she's labeled your concern as control, she owns the narrative for everything that comes next. Lie number 3. You're being way too controlling. This is the most dangerous of the 4, because it doesn't just deflect her behavior. It rewires how you see yourself. You ask something completely reasonable. Who were you with last night? Why's your phone face down? And instead of an answer, you get an attack. Suddenly, the conversation isn't about her behavior, it's about your insecurity. Here's the tell. When a woman has nothing to hide, questions don't threaten her. She answers them and moves on. Transparency feels easy when you're telling the truth. It's secrecy that turns every question into an interrogation. Greg, 44, a dentist, noticed his girlfriend hiding her phone screen one night and asked calmly who she was texting so late. She exploded. Why are you always checking on me? I can't breathe around you. You're so controlling. Within minutes, he was the one apologizing. Months later, he found out the man she'd been texting that night was a coworker she'd been quietly building something with for weeks. The explosion wasn't emotional. It was timed. If you've ever apologized for asking a fair question and felt something twist in your stomach about it afterward, that's worth sitting with. Hit subscribe if this is landing, and send it to a friend who needs to hear it, because this is the part most people in this space won't say out loud. 3 lies down. Stay with me, because lie number 4 is the one that makes everything before it click into place. And right after it, I'm finally giving you that one signal I promised at the start. Lie number 4. I just want us to be honest with each other. On the surface, this is everything you've ever wanted to hear. Real communication, finally. But listen carefully. She's not asking for mutual honesty. She's asking for selective honesty. She gets to dig into your past, your fears, your regrets. And you open up, because it feels like intimacy. But flip the question back toward her, why she's been distant, who the new coworker is, and the tone shifts instantly. I'm sharing so much and it's still not enough for you? Marcus, 50, an insurance agent, told her everything. His first heartbreak, his fears about getting older, mistakes he'd never told anyone. She made it feel like closeness. But every time he asked her something that actually mattered, she dodged, deflected, made him feel guilty for asking. While he was emptying his chest out completely, she was hiding the one thing that would have explained everything. Real honesty runs in both directions without friction. If she's open about what makes her look good but shuts down the second a question gets close to her own behavior, that's not vulnerability. That's strategy. Here's the signal I promised you at the very beginning. It's not what she says in any of these 4 moments. It's what she does in the seconds after. Don't argue, don't chase, don't debate her wording. Just watch. A woman who's telling the truth doesn't need you to drop the subject. She wants to clear it up. A woman who's hiding something needs you to drop it, fast, and she'll use guilt, control accusations, or honesty itself to make you do it. That's the tell. Not her words. Her urgency to end the conversation instead of resolve it. Quick recap before we close this out. I'm not in the mood. Her desire didn't disappear. It redirected. I want to focus on myself. Real growth includes you. Fake growth requires your absence. You're too controlling. Your basic question became her exit ramp. I want us to be honest. One-way honesty isn't honesty. It's a curated leak. If this gave you clarity, hit like so other men see it too. Subscribe. Because every week I break down a pattern most people in this space are too careful to say out loud. Drop a comment with the city you're watching from. Men from every corner of this country are dealing with the exact same thing, and you're not in this alone. And if you know a guy who needs to hear this exact video, send it to him tonight. Manipulation survives in silence. Clarity is the only thing that kills it. Stay sharp and never let anyone convince you that confusion is love.